I'm gonna share some stories. I mean, I got tons about me using this stuff. It's too many to name, so that would have to be a whole nother videotape, which we can do someday. Or read Muay Tiger. There's a bunch of it in there. You can order those there on Amazon, all that kind of place. JermaineAndre.com. You can go there and get both books. So I would like to talk about some people, some awkward ones with some people who train under me, because everybody thinks it's always going to turn to somebody trying to rob them, take their wallet, they pull a knife, and they hi-ya the knife or the gun and, you know, hit them in the throat. But these stories are a little bit more exciting. Number one guy he's a delivery guy. He delivers for UPS or whatever. And he delivered to a hospital, and there was a crazy guy in the hallway, and the guy jumped up and attacked him and punched him in the face. Well, he took the hit, and it shocked him and almost, it hurt him. But he said he was so used to being hit, it just took him back to sparring. And he jumped up, and the guy came at him again, was coming to hit him, and he used a technique we call a teep in Muay Thai. He front push kicked him in the chest. And he said he kicked the guy, and the guy just went flying, like 20 failed, flipped over backwards, just went flying so far away, but didn't get seriously hurt. And then he said he ran to the guy and he was mad and he was thinking about getting on him, but then he stopped because the guy was on the ground. The guy got up like, "What'd you do to me?" And then, of course, the nurses and everybody, security guy grabbed this guy and carried him off. But the whole fact that this guy had been sparring and he could fight is what saved probably even that guy, because he didn't panic and just start swinging and hitting this guy in the head because this guy just hit him, or pull his knife out, for his box cutter and start cutting this guy and all that kind of stuff. He went straight into his training, kicked this guy in the chest, just knocked him away, which is just like an impact defense. The guy fell down, the guy wasn't hurt, and he's a mentally ill patient, so he wasn't a criminal trying to hurt him, he was just off. And then my student walked away uninjured and could continue his job that day. So that was a real good success story. Another one, I have a guy, and he's a dwarf. He's got a lot of medical conditions, and he's got a condition with his head. His head can't be hit. He's had a lot of surgery in his head, and he's never in his life failed. He's never in his life ran. He's learned from me. I got him running. He's learning martial arts. He's never even raised his knee above his waist, and now he can kick up at his own head. So he's got all these, these conditions that he's not supposed to be able to do these things. Well, one of the things I said to him, I said, "Well, man, if you ever get into something and somebody's mad at you," like I'm thinking, if I'm mad at you, the first thing I'm gonna do to you, I'm gonna push you down. I said, "So you gotta learn how to fall." He's like, "Oh my God, never learned." So I took it real easy. From tapping the floor, and taught him how to fall, even going backwards. Where he's like, "Man, I've never dreamed I could be able to do this." Well, moving along, he's a college student working on his PhD, and while he was at school, he, without my permission, went and he saw this cop was teaching self-defense in the parking lot to a bunch of the students. So he just went over to see, of course, he's in the martial arts, so he's like, "Let's go see what they're doing." So he went over, and the police officers showing stuff, and he actually paired them up. And while he was training with somebody, he slipped and fell backwards. Now, if his head hit that ground, that probably could be it for him. And when he fell, he tucked his chin, and he used that, boom, to stop, did not hit his head, did not even get injured. Didn't hurt his back, anything, got right back up, stopped doing the workshop, because he knew he shouldn't have been doing it anyway out there without me. And, but he came and told me that story, and that learning how to fall actually probably saved his life at that moment in that situation. Another good story is I had a modeling company, and all the models had to learn women's self-defense from me. Well, one of the women, she decided to take it further, and she trained Muay Thai under me, and she even started training jiu-jitsu and ground fighting with me. And she was out running one day, and somebody's Akita, the big Japanese Akita dog, got out and chased her and attacked her, and she grabbed her, bit her in the calf, and then bit her in the butt and pulled her to the ground. She fell to the ground. While she was on the ground, she went to her jiu-jitsu and she spun and put her feet to the dog, and the dog was biting. She kicked the dog, put her hands up to protect herself, and actually defended herself from this dog on the ground using her martial arts skills and her martial art training. So that's a really good story there, because you don't know what's going to happen to this dog. The dog was bigger than her, and she ended up using it to protect herself. So there's a few kind of awkward story besides the regular, taking a gun for somebody or something like that. Somebody hit me and I hit them. You have to get those stories in my book if you want to get those stories.